Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Wednesday, June 29th, 2016. Hope you're having a good trading week. Here's a look at the ES front-month futures contract. Got a bounce back today after a gap up, as you'll see in the intraday action. Basically a relief bounce after the 2 days of jolt we had Friday and Monday. Didn't take us back very far, and other than the gap up and the initial push wasn't very urgent, but we did get a little more short covering in the afternoon after the market held up. So basically 1 day of selling off on the news, another day of people throwing in and reacting to that on Monday, and then today some short covering and people trying to fish for bottoms. Is it the bottom? I mean, it seems unlikely, but it's common for this to happen in this fashion, so it is what it is. Let's go through the majors. Crude oil up $1.80 to 48.12. Gold down $8.80 after making new highs. No big deal there. S&P gained 35. As you'll see, there was a gap. I'll show you that in a minute. NDX up 90. Let's see, this does not give us the 13 buy signal, by the way, in the index because we didn't close lower than the prior day. Stocks up $17.43 points. Biotech's up 95.92. Just a blip, really. The VIX down 5. It's a big move down in the VIX. The trend at closed at 0.61. That's a low close. 10-day moving average still 1.08. Unlikely to go too low for a while because we have those two big readings above 1.5 the last couple of days. Nasdaq volume 1.87 billion shares, so 1.8, call it good volume, but not nearly as good as Friday and Monday, obviously. And after some horrible breadth for 2 days in a row, we bounced back. Look at this. Advanced decline ratio on the Nasdaq plus 1994, the single biggest breadth today in the last year. Advanced decline ratio on the New York plus 2208, almost the biggest. Google comes back 10 points, saving that 680 level. Actually, look at that. You've got a floating island. Let's go to this. Look at the intraday here. You do. You have a floating island on Google. This is the 5-minute chart. So you can see that the left side of the chart is Friday, and then the gap down Monday morning, the cup and handle Monday, and the gap back up. So that is a floating island pattern on the daily chart. You take out the highs of that would usually be bullish. For Google. Apple, not quite the same, but it did bounce off a static trend line. Notice that 92 level, the red line, was exactly the low essentially on Tuesday, and now we're up. Amazon up 16.59. Stock's just amazing. It holds up for everything. Netflix up $2.64. All right, we'll take a look at Tesla. Remember, Tesla was one of the few things that was green on Monday. Back up a bit here as well. All right, let's look at the futures contracts, the 5-minute chart. So you can see, again, same kind of thing as what you saw in Google. After the end of Friday, off to the left, then Monday we gapped down, end up actually lower than that Google had been in terms of the close, and then the gap up. The gap up was pretty big actually here, about 25 points on the ES for the session. So when you're up 43, 25 of them's a gap. It's not as tradable. We did have a nice push early. We made good money on our futures trades in the open. Most of the day's range was established in that first 40 minutes or so. We did sweep the lows over lunch, and then in the last hour or so, broke out and pushed up a bit. Again, just some short covering as everybody saw the market holding after the gap up. But we'll be more interested to see what comes after. Let's take a look at the data that we have coming out this week still on Wednesday in particular, because that is tomorrow. MBA mortgage index at 7 a.m. Eastern time. We've got personal income and spending an hour before the bell. We've got core PCE prices. That's an inflationary number an hour before the bell. We've got pending home sales 30 minutes in, and crude oil inventories. That's the weekly number an hour in. Keep in mind what I've been talking about for a while, even though it could be changed up a bit because of all the action we got from the Brexit vote. Typically you'd expect that tomorrow, Wednesday here, would be about it. We'd have some action in the morning, react to the news that's coming out, and then everybody starts to leave, reason being that Thursday is the last day of the quarter and the halfway point of the year. Usually they're not going to do much in terms of buying and selling big positions. They've already done that. But there may be some adjustments to be made this time because of what's happened in the last few days. And then, of course, Friday is Friday, and it's the first day of the second half of the year. It's the first day of July, but it's still the Friday leading into a 3-day weekend. So most of the time, the big players will be gone, and you'd expect to see things start to come back Tuesday and then Wednesday of next week. I think starting Wednesday next week could be really interesting for a bit. At any rate, charts as usual brought to you by eSignal 12. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. We will have a market preview tomorrow for the rest of the week, and that'll be it. Probably no calls for Friday in the report. We'll just call it from the tape if there's anything to do, because there probably won't be. But we will see. Who knows? You never know, given the environment right now and everything that's been going on, what we might be able to find. Have a great trading Wednesday.